Think of Gulliver's Travels, and you probably picture a cheerful giant waking up on a sunny beach, gently tied down by tiny, adorable citizens. But the actual book ends with that same explorer sleeping in a stable, so deeply traumatized by humanity that the mere touch of his own wife causes him to pass out from physical revulsion. For 300 years, we have handed this story to children. We treat it as a whimsical adventure, completely ignoring the fact that Jonathan Swift wrote it as a vicious, calculated takedown of the human race. Tracing Gulliver's 4 voyages reveals the book's actual architecture, a systematic dismantling of every human illusion. What begins as an optimistic travelogue operates as a psychological mystery, documenting an explorer's step-by-step descent into total misanthropy. Every voyage begins with the ocean stripping Gulliver of his ties to European society, washing him ashore as an isolated observer. His first stop is the magical, tiny world of Lilliput. The bright exterior of the miniature city quickly fades. Gulliver watches the tiny politicians compete for high government office, not through debate, but by performing dangerous rope dancing tricks on a literal tightrope. Swift is forcing a zoomed-out perspective. From a distance, human political squabbles, factionalism, and vanity look exactly like tiny people risking their necks on a piece of string for a colored ribbon. It is petty, and it is absurd. Then, the physical scale inverts. On his second voyage to Brobdingnag, Gulliver becomes the tiny 6-inch pet to a race of 60-foot giants. He proudly pitches the complexities of European civilization to the giant king, detailing our grand history, intricate laws, and heroic bloody wars. The king listens patiently to this entire summary and deduces objectively that humanity must be a race of little odious vermin. By stripping Gulliver of his physical dominance, Swift strips away the illusion of human grandeur. Our moral smallness is exposed the moment we are no longer the biggest creatures in the room. Voyage 3 takes Gulliver to Laputa, an island hovering in the sky, populated entirely by hyper-intellectual mathematicians and scientists. They are so obsessed with abstract theory that they cannot even build houses that stand up straight. While they ponder the cosmos, the actual society on the ground below them is starving and in ruins. Here he also meets the Struldbrugs, people born with eternal life. But instead of accumulating infinite wisdom, they simply age endlessly, turning into depressed, envious, decaying husks. The Enlightenment era promised that continuous scientific progress and medical miracles would save us. Swift uses this third voyage to show that intellect and immortality, without practical empathy, achieve nothing but prolonged misery. The final stop is the land of the Huyanims. This is a society governed entirely by majestic, perfectly rational horses who do not even possess a word for a lie. These horses share their island with the Yahoos, hideous, grady beasts that hoard shiny stones and throw excrement at one another. Gulliver realizes the savage, uncultured Yahoos are biologically identical to humans, the exact same animal, simply stripped of clothes and titles. Seeing his own species as pure, unvarnished animals shatters Gulliver's psyche entirely. He can no longer hide from the fact that he is indistinguishable from a Yahoo. He returns to England a broken man. He buys 2 horses to converse with in the barn, and he physically recoils from his own wife and children because he can only see them as Yahoos. Swift uses Gulliver's eventual madness as a weapon against the central arrogance of the Enlightenment. This animated diagram illustrates Swift's central thesis. The philosophers of his era claimed humans were purely rational creatures, represented by the perfect circle on the left. Swift countered that we are merely creatures capable of reason, a much smaller node connected to a massive capacity for vice. As the node of reason acts as an engine here, we see the true danger. We do not use our intellect to overcome our base nature. We weaponize our limited reason to invent deadlier wars, more efficient corruption, and better justifications for our greed. We remember the tiny Lilliputians and the giant Brobdingnagians, but the novel endures because that uncomfortable, misanthropic mirror Swift held up to human pride remains exactly as accurate today as 3 centuries ago.